Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a review. I feel like it's been a little while since I did something like this, and it's something that I actually really liked that I was not expecting to like that much. So I just want to share with you my thoughts on it today. You guys always seem to really enjoy my luxury reviews, so I felt like let's continue this trend and move beyond just like bags and shoes and get into accessories. And I feel like this is going to be a good one because it's going to hit some points that people really enjoy when it comes to Hermes. Already kind of said what it was, and you guys will probably see in the title anyways. Before I continue babbling, let's just get on with the video. So today I want to chat a little bit about my Gamma belt. This is in the 24mm size, and I recently got this when I was in Italy last year. I believe I bought this one in Florence. Yeah, I think it was Florence, and it was by happenstance, and it was kind of like a serendipitous moment when I picked this up. So first, let's kind of like run through the overall details of this belt. I have the Gamma buckle in the gold color, and the width of this belt is a 24mm. It is a reversible one, so you have the black on one side, and then you have a taupe on the other side. The black is a soft calfskin, and then the a taupe is kind of like a really thick kind of Epsom material on the back here, or it could be Togo. I might be wrong. Correct me down below if I am wrong. So what I really like about this belt is the fact that it's called, like, I guess they're belt kits. You can actually take this buckle off and reverse the belt if you'd like. So if I need a black belt one day, I put the black in the front, and then if I need a kind of like beigey brown colored belt, I can just flip it over, pop it in, and have a taupey colored belt for the rest of the day. I actually surprised myself by how much I ended up wearing the a taupe side as opposed to the black. Like, it's almost an even 50-50 split at this point. I went in with the original intentions of purchasing this belt specifically for the black side because I knew I needed a thin black belt, and I thought that I was going to get a lot of wear out of it. Surprisingly, I also get a lot of wear out of the a taupe side as well. So a couple things to note about the color variation of this belt. I believe you can also get it in the black and gold, which was my original preference. When they didn't have it available in stock, I ended up getting the a taupe because I already had my Evelyn at that point, which was in an a taupe color, and I figured it'd be cute to match this with that bag if I want to wear it out together. And I decided it's not a bad shade. It is pretty much like a neutral. It's a cool tone neutral beige, so I can wear this with some outfits here and there, even though the majority of my closet is more on the warm tone side. I underestimated how many cool tone beiges I have in my closet. Surprisingly, I have a lot, which is why this belt fits with it perfectly. So if you're unsure between the black and gold or the black and a taupe, either or work really well. I also still want to get my hands on the Nata and gold colored one, which is also a reversible piece of leather that you can wear as a belt. So I think once I get that, that'll kind of check off all the points that I want from my belt. I have black, white, a taupe, and gold, and those are kind of like the primary colors that I really wanted. I'm not really somebody that wears vibrant bold colors when it comes to my belt. They're just like an overall kind of small accessorizing piece to my closet. So a couple things to note about the color. The black is black stitching, so it's not gonna pop, and then the a taupe actually has white stitching on the side, which is kind of aligned with all their a taupe products. It usually has the juxtaposed white stitching against it to kind of like accentuate that really like fresh crispness of the color. I'm gonna flip this for you so you can kind of see what it looks like on both sides, but I don't find that the white stitching on the a taupe side detracts at all from the Gamma logo on the belt here, whereas if it was to have the black, because it is such a huge contrast, I don't think that would look good, but you honestly don't really notice it that much. And I think this gives it like this really strange elevated casual look when you wear this out on a day-to-day. Backstory of this belt, I originally was looking for it in the gold in the 13mm width, which is almost like I would say a centimeter smaller than this. I wanted a really thin skinny belt. I had never tried it on in person yet. I'd only honestly really seen it online. So the buckle is significantly smaller than this. It's like maybe like this small, and the belt is about 2/3 the size of this almost. When I tried it on in person, it was just way too slim for my figure. It looked like I was tying a rope around my waist. My purpose of going in and purchasing this belt was to find a belt that I could wear low slung on my hips or higher up on my waist if I wanted to wear it to like cinch in a dress or a pair of pants, which is why I thought I wanted a very slim belt. You can also get this wider, I believe, but I think this is actually the perfect size to get it in. And when I tried on this one, because the other one looked just like way too small, I tried this size on for fun actually. I was not intending to get the size originally. It just seemed to work out perfectly. So I decided to go with the 24mm. Now, if you are looking for a skinny rope belt, then the 13mm is definitely gonna be the one for you. But if you want to wear something a little bit more casual on a day-to-day, but not be overly casual or have like a thick waist cinching belt like my Dior oblique one, this one is probably a better look for you. So I ended up being a 75 in this belt. I wanted to be able, like I said, to be worn low slung or up on my waist. And when I wore this low slung, the 75 was just enough to have like a little bit peeking out, that it didn't look too ostensibly flailing on the side, or like too short that it looked like the belt was essentially too small for me. It was like a very comfortable kind of length hanging off from the side. And if you have belt loops, for the love of God, please tuck the end of your belt into loops so it just doesn't like flare off like that. There is no additional like loop or anything for you to tuck this belt into on the side. So if it is too long, then consider sizing down so that you have the right size and it looks proportionate to your body. The only issue that I had with the 75 was that when I wanted to bring it up here, it wasn't small enough for my waist. And I tried on the 70 just to see that if I wanted to be really high-waisted, how much more space I would be able to like shrink it down without this hanging off way too much on the end. And it just, honestly, the 70 was so tight that I couldn't bring it down to here without this tail end of the belt being way too short over the buckle. So I ended up going with the 75. It worked out perfectly. And if you didn't know this, Hermes actually offers a service where they can add additional holes into your belt strap for you. I know you can just go home and do this yourself or take it to like a cobbler, but it is a service that is 100% free of charge. It won't cost you anything at all. So I would say take advantage of it whenever you can, just because they're also going to be able to create holes that are in line with the same shape as the rest of your belt. If you've taken it to a cobbler or you're doing it at home, you're not always going to be able to get the exact same size, and it just looks off. It looks very DIY, especially if you're going to be spending that much on a belt. You want to make sure it still looks very clean and done well. I would recommend going into your local Hermes and checking out and seeing if they're able to add holes for you, because then it'll be uniform, aligned with the same hole size and shape as the rest of their holes. Now, not every Hermes offers this service. You do need to kind of check in ahead and see if they do, and you'll be probably leaving it there for a few hours. So I mentioned that I bought this belt in Florence, but their machine at the time was not functioning. So when we ended up going to Milan, I dropped off my belt on the very first day getting there, because we would be there for about like 5 days or so. I asked them if they could fix my belt for me. They actually said it was going to be a couple of hours, really fast. I was expecting something more the lines of like, yeah, drop it off and then in a few days come back. So I wanted to make sure I had enough time to do that before we had to leave and fly home. It honestly only took like, I think 15 minutes. They told me just to walk around the store, look at some things, and then it was done. And I had a belt that I was able to wear both high-waisted and low-waisted. I don't know if the Toronto location offers it, so you'd have to probably call ahead and check in, but just give them a call. Most of the time, most locations have it so that they can offer this service to a lot of their customers. And I think it's a fabulous service, because then you can really customize a belt and make it suit your personal needs. The only thing would be that if you do want to sell the belt in the future, I don't know if that would potentially hinder or affect the value of the belt, just because it's going to be modified and adapted at that point, and whoever purchases the belt may not want all those extra holes. I believe you can get up to 2 extra holes added to your belt. It comes with 3. So these are the 3 on the front here that I had originally, and I added up to 2 holes here. And I don't know why, but I guess they only allow the addition of 2 extra holes, and at that point, if you're adding too many, they probably would just recommend you size down so that when you are wearing the belt, it isn't sloppy and doesn't hang off on the side. Obviously, of course, if you want extra holes, you can go to a cobbler or do it yourself, but I think on their end, they just put a stop on that, because they don't want to be the ones that are essentially setting the precedent that you can wear a belt super tight and have all this extra belt strap hanging out here. So how you switch the buckle of this belt, it's actually really easy. This is the front of the belt and this is the back of the belt. If you can see this little knob here, all you have to do is punch it out just like this. Take your strap off, flip it around, push your strap back in, and then rebuckle it in place just like that, and it's right there. There is only 1 hole here, so you can't really bring it down, and I don't think Hermes will willingly punch another hole for you, because they want to keep it fairly short up at the front here. So that's kind of the width of where you need to be when you are putting your belt buckle back in. So in terms of price point, I can't exactly remember how much this whole thing cost together. I think it was around like $500-600 when I got my VAT back and Canadian. The prices have gone up at Hermes recently. I do know that they brought everything up around like, I think it was like 8 to 12% depending on the item. But this is a great option for anybody who wants to get into Hermes and kind of start their collection, because it's not on the crazy expensive end of Hermes, and it's like a cute accessory you can wear every single day. I don't think this belt is overdone yet, just because I haven't seen a lot of people wear this Gamma one. It's a very understated one. You don't immediately notice the H right away when you're looking at it. It's an H like all their other belts, but this little kind of horse bit looking thing on the sides really conceals it and makes it look more just kind of like a discreet design that covers the H. When I first saw this belt, For some reason, I thought it looked more like Gucci than anything, and I like the fact that it didn't scream Hermes. And unless you know the brand and the products really well, you're probably not going to realize right away that it is Hermes. Similar to the understated luxury vibe, one of those like if you know, you know type of things. I used to love the huge H logo, and you know what? I think I still like it. Maybe down the road I'll get it, but for now, I'm not really somebody who wears like logos everywhere, and I don't really want my belt to scream like Hermes at my waist here, especially since it's like right in the center of my body. So I like that this one is a little bit more nondescript. This is also a really great belt for anybody who's beginning their Hermes journey, just because it is part of their belt kits. You can take it off, and there's a lot of other belt buckles where they also operate in a similar style where you just punch it through the middle and slip it through, and it just goes around your waist and you can reverse it. So if you have multiple leather straps, you can swap them in and out with different types of belt buckles to get a completely different look. There are a couple of other ones that I really like at the moment that I would love to add to my collection, and I think they'd be just really cute to just kind of like add and be able to swap in and out. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but there are some very minor scratches on this belt buckle. I don't even know how I acquired it, probably when I was leaning in at a counter somewhere, but it does scratch a little bit. I haven't noticed too much scratching, and it's like kind of weighty when it comes to holding it in my hand. So I think it's very well constructed. It's not fragile. It's not going to warp. It's not going to bend, but you do need to be careful when you're wearing this, especially if you're leaning up against things like I do sometimes, because it may scratch at the end of the day, and that's not really a look that you want, and it's going to tarnish. Obviously, you can always purchase another one to replace it. I don't know if they will just give you a brand new one to replace it, but something to keep note of. Wear and tear on this overall has been really great. I surprisingly wear this a lot when it comes to just like black or a taupe. Like I mentioned, it's almost at a 50-50 ratio right now. An outfit like this, for example, I'd be more than happy to wear a black, or even just like switching it to the front, because I feel like this kind of matches a little bit the shade of my pants. It's not a 100% perfect match, but it's close enough that it would look nice and be like a subtle pop out against the rest of the outfit. So if you are considering this belt, I think that this is a really phenomenal color combination, the black and the taupe. Definitely look into it if you are considering which one you want to purchase with the buckle. That is essentially it for my review of this belt. I have thoroughly been enjoying it, and I surprised myself by how much I like this belt. I knew I loved it, but I wasn't sure if it's going to be another one of those pieces where it's like, oh, it's cute, I'm in the mood to buy something, so let's just pick it up and be part of Birkin bait, I guess. But it doesn't really count because I bought this in Florence, so it doesn't even go towards my account here in Toronto. I think the most important thing when it comes to Hermes is buying things that you like, and don't just buy them because it's gonna go towards being offered a quota bag from your SA, because at the end of the day, you could spend like tens of thousands of dollars, and if your SA is not a fan of you, or if you're living in a market where there's a ton of other customers who are also interested in getting a quota bag and spend way more than you're never gonna get that bag. So at the end of the day, buy what you like, and if your SA wants to offer you a bag, great. If they don't, you can spend as much as you want and you'll probably never get that bag offer. So I'm very happy I picked this up. I would, looking back, 100% be on board with myself repurchasing this. And I don't think I have any sort of qualms or issues. Thinking about it now, I think I actually have zero issues when it comes to this belt. There's no cons to it whatsoever at all. It's just pros all the way around. The fact that you can swap out the belt strap and have different colors depending on what outfit you want to wear. The fact that you can swap out the buckle and have it be interchanged with other ones, so you can kind of like build out your kit and have mix and match pieces, and that way you're not buying like too many separate belts. And also the fact that you can wear it either high-waisted or low-waisted depending on how you want to sit on your waist. You can also add 2 extra holes to this, which is a free service at the store. I don't think a lot of stores always offer this for free. You may have to pay if you go to a cobbler. And the price point is great for anybody who wants an introductory Hermes piece. This is actually going to be a phenomenal gift for like say Father's Day or Christmas if you're somebody who likes to splurge a little bit more. And I think a great functional piece that can be worked into somebody's everyday wardrobe. If they are somebody who wears belts quite often, or you just want that like final accessorizing piece that doesn't scream accessory, like a huge chunky chain belt or like thick chunky necklaces, these are very dainty pieces that are great at kind of like elevating your overall wardrobe and pulling together your outfit without screaming, I am adding a specific designer luxury piece to my wardrobe. So I hope this helped. If there's anybody out there who's interested in purchasing this belt, thank you guys for joining me on this little review today. I am trying to acquire myself a new belt strap, the white and gold one, so that I can wear it with this with some more like summer dresses, because I would really love a white belt at this point. I feel like my entire closet just needs to be white because I wear so much white on a day-to-day basis, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know my thoughts on it, and if I end up finding that I'm getting so much more wear out of the white and gold versus the black in a tube. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it educational, insightful, helpful. Let me know your thoughts on Hermes belts down below, and if you have a specific favorite design, or if you also have this one in any other colorways or different belt buckle colors. I believe it also comes in the platinum and in the rose gold, but I'm a gold girly. You guys know that all in all, which is why I got the gold to begin with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, if you want to see more of me, you can always find me on Instagram and on TikTok, where I post a little bit more than my YouTube channel. But as always, I would love it if you subscribe to me on here. That way my videos pop up in your subscription box every single week when I do upload, because we're starting to grow a little family here and I'm having so much fun, and I just really love chit-chatting with you guys. I would love to see your beautiful faces around again for the next video when it comes out. But in the meantime, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Love you guys.